I just came back from a date. And before I took my makeup off, I was like, let me do a story time. So before I start this, I just want to say I love women so much and I respect women, the type of women I'm about to talk about, because I can never be them, even if I wanted to. I just can't. So I applaud y'all. It's a first date and it's with a man. I go on a date with him and then we start talking about like dating scenes and, you know, dating now and how it's just been terrible. And he's telling me about like, he goes on and how just bad the dating scene has been. And I was like, oh, what happened? He was like, I recently met someone and you won't believe what happened. I was like, what happened? He was like, yeah, he dates Black women. So he was like, yeah, I just met this woman, beautiful. I make reservations for dinner and she not only comes in not 10 minutes, not 15 minutes late, an hour and a half late. Can you believe that? He said, can you believe that? I said, no way. And then I was like, no way. He goes, yeah. But as soon as she walks in, she starts bawling. She starts crying. I said, now I'm concerned. Now I'm invested. He's like, yeah, she starts crying. And I'm like, what's going on? What happened? And she goes, you know, I just came back from Whole Foods this afternoon and that's why I was, you know, an hour and a half late because I came back with all these groceries and I couldn't put them into my fridge because I got home and my fridge was leaking and it was just a mess. Like it was leaking all over my apartment. And he was like, at that point, I'm genuinely concerned. As soon as he said that, I said, the girl's onto something. I knew exactly where that story was going. As soon as he said that, I knew exactly where that story was going because I know this type of woman. I said, so I'm just there. I'm like, oh no. He was like, yeah. He was like, this girl is crying now. I'm genuinely concerned. She was like, yeah, now I'm trying to get somebody who can come in and fix it, but he hasn't been able to fix it. And it's this very specific type of fridge. You see that? They got game. So he's like, yeah, it's a specific type of fridge. The guy's like, you know what? I'm going to go to Lowe's tomorrow. I'm going to get you a guy to fix it. She was like, okay. He's like, don't worry. Let's just enjoy dinner. So the next day, he's trying to see her. He was like, hey, how are you doing? He couldn't get the guy to come and fix it. They couldn't come in until the following week. And he was like, man, I don't even want to deal with anything right now. I'm so stressed. I can't see you because I've got all this going on. I need to find a fridge. I need a fridge. What did the man do? He bought her a $4,000 fridge. Rob Wiggers. Rob them Wiggers. I said, hell yeah. Hell yeah, you gonna buy a fridge. He bought a fridge. Guess what she did? She never saw him again. I said,
guys, these are those cautionary tales that remind you how many simps and how many dudes are out there that are fools. You know, there's an old saying that goes, a fool and his gold are soon parted, right? So, you know, these are the guys that allow women to manipulate them. These are the guys that lead with their wallet. These are the guys that end up resenting women and calling women gold diggers and all that other stuff. And it's like, bro, you gave her the gold to dig. Like, you the one that, you know, you led with your wallet. You decided to pay for stuff for her. You made all of this stuff happen. And these men are the reason why these type of women exist, because the woman wouldn't do this unless she knew she could get away with it. Women would not do this unless they knew that there were men out there that would allow it. You understand? So the thing is that when you have a masculine identity and you're focused on what you want, you don't let any woman change your focus and change what it is you're looking for and what it is you require of her. You know, and it's real crazy because notice how the woman, she showed up not 10 minutes late, but an hour and 10 minutes late. And he still actually was on a date with her, sitting there talking to her. Guys, I suggest giving women a 10 to 15 minute grace period. No longer, 15 minutes is probably too long, maybe 10 minutes. And I'm talking about they got to already have called and be like, hey, I'm looking for parking or something. You see what I'm saying? Like, we can't, an hour and 10 minutes and you're still sitting there waiting for her. This is because she told the story. He said he didn't hear from her and she showed up late. So it's like, bro, what are you doing? The fact that she could be a hour and 10 minutes late and you still sitting there waiting for her, that indicates to her that you're a pushover. That indicates to her that you can be manipulated. That indicates to her that you don't love yourself and you're making her more important than you. So that's when she could give you the sob story about the fridge and then ultimately get you to buy her a $4,000 fridge. I mean, a lot of you guys, there's a lot of guys out there that they don't really, if they send a woman $5 in the Cash App or if they do something little for a woman, they don't realize that those little things that you do can lead to bigger things because money is relative, right? Because if you was born into a rich family, $5,000 don't seem like nothing to you, but giving it to the woman or buying her a fridge, and then right after you buy her the fridge, she never speaks to you again. You see what I'm saying? That shows what a simp you are. That shows how much of a masculine identity you don't have because you allow yourself to be manipulated. Because check this out. A man like me, I love myself. I got a masculine identity. I love my masculine identity. I love who I am. And I know exactly what I want from any woman that I'm dealing with, right? If we're supposed to meet at 7 p.m., by 7:10, if you're not there, I'm gone. So I wouldn't even been there to sit there and listen to your story about your fridge. You see what I'm saying? And my thing is this. You're a grown ass person. I don't know you and I don't owe you. So if you don't have your home life in order where you have a working fridge, that's not my problem. This is the first date. I'm just meeting you. If you don't have your life together where you have a working fridge, then you shouldn't be agreeing to go out on dates. You see what I'm saying? There's things you got to take care of at home. You don't come to the date an hour and 10 minutes late. Then you giving me all of these sob stories about your fridge and what. I have nothing to do with that. This is our first date. I have not one thing to do with your fridge or getting you a new one, any of those things. But again, these are the men that allow these things to happen. These are the men that we call simps. These are the men that women realize that they can take advantage of. The same guy that would sit there and wait for a woman an hour and a half late. When a woman is an hour and a half late to the date, and the same man who would sit there for an hour and a half is the same man that would buy a $4,000 fridge for a perfect stranger. And then that perfect stranger ghosts them and stop talking to them. See what I'm saying? So again, we have to, as men, we got to look at ourselves and realize, what did we do to make these women so comfortable to manipulate men in this way? What did other men do? What are we doing as men? What are the choices that we're all collectively making as men that make women think that it's okay to do this type of stuff? You see what I'm saying? This is why each man individually has to develop his masculine identity and make the right choices for himself. So like I said, she's 10 minutes late. That date is over. See you later. I don't need to hear your story. I don't need to hear anything because you're already showing me that you're not prioritizing the plans that we made. And how you start is how you finish. So if that's my first impression of the woman, why would I want to continue a relationship with you? This is our first date, the first time we're going to get together. And you're late. That's telling me everything I need to know. That's telling me what's going to happen in the future. You see what I'm saying? And I don't need that type of relationship. I don't need to be with a woman who's going to be late, much more hour and 10 minutes late. You get what I'm saying? We got to understand what we're doing, guys. We got to understand that we have to embrace our masculine identity. We have to love ourselves. And by loving ourselves, what we do is we put everything in its order. We prioritize ourselves and everything else comes after that. Now, if I set a date for 7 p.m. and you don't show up, you're showing me where you're prioritizing me. You're showing me what order you're trying to put me in. And so you end up being late, then that means we're not compatible. You understand? Because that's what you should be looking for when it comes to these relationships. You should be looking for compatibility. You understand? That's the main thing you should be looking for. Why? Because you already know who you are. You already know your masculine identity. So you are looking for a woman who can be compatible with your masculine identity. That is the priority. The priority is you. You are the priority. And so The way she shows up tells you everything that you need to know. So if she's showing up late, that's telling you everything you need to know. It doesn't matter what the emergency is. It doesn't matter what the reason is. The problem with so many men is that they let a woman's beauty manipulate them into making excuses for her and continuing to see her, even though they know, man, she already showed up late. She got all these sob stories. She don't got her life together. She don't got a working fridge. This woman is crazy and disrespectful. I don't need this. Time for me to go. Good night. Goodbye. Have a nice life. Hope you get your fridge fixed or whatever. And again, I wouldn't even sat there to hear the story. So I wouldn't know. I just wouldn't know. And if she ever tried to call me again, I'd block it. I wouldn't need to speak to her because she told me everything I need to know. So guys, when somebody show you who they are, you got to listen to them, right? And you have to, again, prioritize yourself and find a woman who is compatible with you as the priority. That's what it's truly about. Because as the leader, you're responsible for the relationship. You're responsible for the success of the relationship. So it is incumbent for her to submit to you, or at least show the possibility of submission. And in this situation, it's a first date. So a woman at least needs to show compliance. OK, she doesn't necessarily need to submit right away. It's the first date. I get it. I understand. But she needs to show compliance. She needs to show deference. She needs to show respect. She needs to show that she's interested in making a good impression on you, and to show that, hey, I got my life in order and I want to possibly be a part of your life. I want to get to know you and possibly be a part of your life. So we at least got to show compliance from the very beginning. And then from there, as we let this woman know exactly who we are, as we present our masculine identity to the woman, then she can make the choice if she's going to submit. And then once she submits, then everything can flow. But we got to remember, guys, we allow these women to do these things. It's us. I don't want you to think that a woman is just evil or a gold digger for absolutely no reason. No, there's a guy out there buying her a $4,000 fridge for no reason. And then she never talks to him again. And then he gets left with the bill of resentment and hate for all women. But it's of his own doing. You see what I'm saying? All right. So it's your boy, Miles Cunningham. Hope you got something from this video. Hope you're having a great day. Be good to yourself. Be grateful. And remember, the truth is inside you. Peace.